Alright. Welcome back to New Saga Anime Review, episode number 3. We're reviewing the third episode of the series. Yes, the third. Known as, if I can get to my thing here, I hate when it does this nonsense. Come on. Come on. Come on. Thank you. Okay. Application of the contract. We begin with left off last episode where we have Kyle meeting his sword, who is voiced by Sarah Weinhoff. Always great to hear her voice in anime. Where basically she's about to explain the stuff related to her. He's like, yeah, I already know all of that. So we actually bypassed your riddles. We actually dug away in here. Like, really? So all I have to do is final test. And, well, she pulls out and boom, sword. Done. Then it's like, okay, we have the gold. We need the bag there, probably access the gold. And of course, oh yeah, she's a fragment of the queen who basically created this tomb. And then they go to the next town where, but before they go, she gets to eat some cookies. Now, this actually is one of two anime I've seen where someone who's really much older than a lot of the other characters loves eating cookies. The other is, of course, basically the Demon Lord scene in How Not to Summon Demon Lord. Yeah, the one who's a slave, who's basically had to get a slave collar to our lead character. Though it's more like biscuits, but basically it's cookies. So, it's like Rations, Lisa May, so they go to the next town. And then, of course, basically they go to a shop like, oh, we're here to buy some equipment. It's like, Legendary like, how does 5 gold pieces sound? Right this way, gentlemen. And he gets a suit that he's going to wear, which is basically, it's on the thumbnail, basically you see, for used for this anime review. He gets that. Elsa gets her outfit too. Kyle's friend, who loves hitting on women. Theron. Yep. Yeah, so they go to the equipment. Of course, they buy a bunch of healing potions, all this other stuff, and like, thank you for your business. Please for your business. So I still got plenty of money, so the girls go out shopping. Theron goes to hit on women, and of course, he does talk to. By the way, he actually does mention to her about the whole passing. I think it's a little contract that he kind of formed, so she knows everything. And of course, they theorize about altering history. So there's a possible setup for next episode. So then afterwards, he's out training, and of course, Earth remembers, oh crap, it's a full moon, after basically hearing Lisa talking in her sleep, and she's basically drinking a cup of wine. And he remembers, oh crap, I gotta form the contract. He, of course, gets very tired. She makes the circle, and like, they form the contract, and he thinks the contract is basically sealed with a kiss. And she thinks him as a pervert, so she summons his Halloran. They would burn his butt, basically, for kissing her. I think she's embarrassed about the fact that he probably caught her off guard. Yeah. And then, of course, they don't want to talk to him for the next day, and then they arrive next town, where it's like, oh, we have a particular companion coming up really soon. Yes, where they have a particular companion, they're going to get someone next town. And, of course, basically, the country's princess just had business town. Her name is, Melina. Yep. And, well, they do basically, like, she's heir to the throne, though her half-brother really wants that throne, because he's a guy. He can't stand the fact that his sister is getting the throne before him. And the image of him is basically a guy who probably... They mentioned he's a shut. I could explain why he's chubby. Because he wants the power. And of course, there was also... He and the sword do talk... What's the sword's name? I keep forgetting her name here. Sedania. Yeah, Sedania. Yeah. So basically, like he does see a character who Kyle does see a character named Zatos. Yes, he does know who this guy is. He's got scars on his face, and he sees a princess, and basically it's mentioned she's possibly going to die according to the original timeline in 2 days. So basically they're trying to prevent it. Yep. But good episode. And in case you're curious, there's like 9 more to go. And I have a possible theory, unless of course Crunchyroll decides to delay an episode by a week. Unless they do, this will be wrapped up by the start of October, which is when a lot of my other new anime basically starting up. I think like currently 3 are set to premiere in October. That being the final season of My Hero Academia, One Punch Man Season 3, Season 8, Camp for Cooking in the World, and I think there's one other anime premiering in October. I don't know which one it is, but those are the 3 I can think of. So, yeah. And I did calculate this. So, the ride should here wrap up by the end of next month. And in the case of Dawn to Dawn, that'll wrap up about a week prior to that. And Dr. Stone, the current core, wrap up the same week as Rise of Hero. So, but as for the other anime, don't know yet. Also, to finish up this, I'm caught up with the previous week of episodes. Yes, all of them are done. This is the last one for Thursday. So, the very next episode I'm going to watch is going to be Case Closed. The first of the 3 Saturday, the one here today, but I don't think I'm able to do all three remaining ones tonight. I'm probably going to do Case Closed and maybe one more. If not, I can save it no problem for tomorrow, because tomorrow only has one anime, and that's One Piece. So aside from that, that's it. So I could just save the RT anime for tomorrow. No, well, nothing wrong with that. Just basically, well, it depends if I get a chance to do it tonight. Okay. Next video. Bye.